And welcome to another edition of the Celtics Spotlight. I'm Sean Meyers of the Carlow Sports Network, joined by a junior on the women's basketball team for the Celtics, Clara Wilson. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And Clara, it has been a difficult winter season for everyone involved with both men's and women's basketball. You've had a few games, and then you had a few postponed. So how have you handled the start and stop that this season has presented?
This season proposes many difficulties just because of the pandemic. I think how I'm handling it is that even if we don't have practice because of concerns or cancellations, whatever it is, you'll still find me at a basketball court getting in my practice time, regardless of whether it's with the team or on my own. I think it's been very challenging for everybody involved because we don't know what's coming next. So it's just trying to go with the flow of things as they move forward.
You said you put a lot of time in honing your game. What do you think some of your best attributes on the court are?
Defense, for sure, and rebounding. I also think I really do well with creating plays on the court, getting people open, whatever that entails, whatever we need in that specific game. It's usually what I try to put out on the court.
There's just one senior on this year's team. You are one of many juniors. How has your leadership evolved now that you are an upperclassman?
It's definitely changed. Actually, this year I was fortunate enough to be selected a captain, one of the three, along with Megan, Ost, and Ashlyn. So it's definitely changed just in that aspect of being a captain on the team and trying to be a leader both on and off the court for the younger girls and being a support system for everyone through this very difficult time.
Your team had an incredible defensive performance in a victory against St. Mary of the Woods College. I was courtside to see it. You held them under 30 points. What was key in that?
Yes, our defense was just phenomenal that game. Always key to a good defense is just communicating and being comfortable with the people you're next to on the court. I think that played a huge role that, we all have such great chemistry and we're able to trust each other out there.
I highlighted that it's a big junior class. You also have a big freshman class, a lot of newcomers. Who
Yes.
has stood out, or maybe what aspects of that unit have stood out to you?
I will say all the freshmen have been so wonderful. They're very kind. They've handled this pandemic issue like a champ. Starting their first season off like this, that's so unsure with everything. They have all pleasantly surprised me, both on and off the court. They're very nice young ladies, and every day I see them getting better, and that's all we can ask.
I know it's probably tough to set goals in a season like this, but what individual goals and what team goals have you set for 2020, 2021?
So individual goals I've set for myself is to be more active in the scoring column, also to show that I have some range. I feel like I've been pegged a little bit as a forward, but that shoots mid-range, and I want to showcase my ability to take those threes and to just be able to score offensively more. A team goal I would say that we have set for sure is to get back to the national tournament because we were able to go there 2 years ago and we didn't return last year, which was definitely heartbreaking. We had just missed it, but I definitely want to get back there before I get out of Carlow.
And rewinding a little bit, what led to your decision initially to come to Carlow University?
So I was actually pretty sure that I was going somewhere else to potentially play a different sport. And I got the call from the head coach at the time here that he was really interested in me, and he had heard from other coaches that I wasn't going to them. So he had called me up. I came up for a visit, and I just fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the location, and it felt like home to me as soon as I came here for my first visit.
And you had mentioned the possibility of playing another sport. So what other sports did you play growing up, even into high school? When did you realize that it was going to be basketball that was going to be your future collegiately?
So growing up, I played every sport under the sun, I think. In high school, I played volleyball, basketball, and softball. And it really came down to the wire. I talked to many coaches throughout my recruiting process, and that was wonderful and very overwhelming. But Um, I think I always knew it was going to be basketball. It just took me a little longer to accept that I was just going to play one sport, since I have just been always involved in multiple sports year round, never taking a break. So I always knew it was going to be basketball. It just took me a little bit to be sure of that.
What positions did you play in volleyball and in softball?
In volleyball, I played middle hitter and the occasional right side hitter, but I played the whole way around. So I was also in on defense and stuff like that. In softball, I played third base primarily, but I was also first base for a couple games. So, yeah.
What is your major? What would be an ideal future profession for you?
So my major, I'm a dual major in early childhood education and special education. My ideal career goal is, at this point, honestly, wherever God needs me to be. I just want to impact positively the young minds in the world today and make a difference in their lives.
You are now in your junior year. What has been the most challenging college course you've taken?
Oh boy. Well, no college course is easy. I would probably say one of the ones I'm taking now that's difficult for me is how to teach English language learners, so people whose secondary language is English. So trying to adapt to learning something like that and how to properly introduce how to speak here and how to learn here and curriculum. And that's been difficult just for me to understand and to make sure that I'm doing that fully and correctly.
You come by way of Johnstown, so about an hour outside of Pittsburgh. How have you enjoyed living in Pittsburgh? What have you enjoyed most about the area?
I really liked living in Pittsburgh. I never saw myself as a city person coming from a smaller town. I love being here. It's a great atmosphere. I love that I have opportunities here that I wouldn't get at home. Just job opportunities, and even things like just being able to walk to go get food or coffee or things like that. It's a lot more convenient and something I will never take advantage of.
You attended Bishop McCourt High School, the Crimson Crushers. What was your fondest memory there?
Oh my goodness, I have so many from high school, mostly revolving around sports. It's hard to narrow it down to one, but a couple, if I can say a couple.
You can give as many as you'd like.
So I was actually, when I got the news that I'd lettered in I'd earned 9 varsity letters throughout my high school career. That was a really proud moment of mine. And in volleyball, we are very successful. Our volleyball team had never done anything to make it very historic. We didn't even have a banner up in the gym. And with my group, which actually I played with my sister the year we went to district for the first time in history, and we continued that the next year. Basketball, I went to state. That was one of the greatest memories of my life. We went to district all 4 years and won while I was there. And in softball, we had never done anything either, never had a banner, and we won the conference with my group the senior year. But probably the best one was that at the end of my senior year, they do a basketball game where they select the best seniors from the county and the neighboring county, and we play head to head, and I had won MVP of that game. So that was pretty awesome.
Getting away from athletics for a little bit, what movie or TV show can you recite basically every line to?
I wish I could say something. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV and movies these days.
Okay.
So
I feel like everyone had time for at least a little while over the summer, huh?
Well, actually, I worked like 60 hours a week.
Jeez.
And I played basketball when I came home. So I didn't have much time then either.
If you could meet anyone in the world, past or present, who would you choose and why?
It's hard for me because I would either say Kobe Bryant or Larry Bird, because Kobe Bryant, just an amazing player, an amazing guy. It's definitely one of the greats. And Larry Bird, I just love the way he played, and his style of play honestly has influenced mine a lot. And to meet either of them would just be amazing.
Let me give you a hypothetical. In their primes, Kobe plays Larry Bird one-on-one. Who's winning?
Oh no, probably Kobe, but Larry Bird would definitely be right there. He's got some good moves. He's good at tricking people out a little bit.
I think Kobe would make sure that they play until he wins because he's not going to settle for losing. So even if it lasts like
agree with
5
that.
hours, he would probably keep going.
I agree with that.
Lastly, a lot of holidays on the horizon. What is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday is St. Patrick's Day. I'm very Irish.
Yes,
so
and you get all done
I
up
get
with
to
the green
celebrate.
then?
Say that again? I'm
You
sorry.
wear all green attire?
Oh, yeah, of course. I go all out for St. Patrick's Day, celebrating my heritage.
All right. Well, hopefully by the time we get to St. Patrick's Day this year, you're able to enjoy it and have completed a successful basketball season as well.
Yes,
in the
that's
process.
in the hopes.
Clara, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
That is Clara Wilson, a junior for the Celtics here on the Celtics Spotlight.